Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash. We want to say Shalom and give double honors to the Apostle and the elders of the Great Millstone. And, Shalom to all the sisters out there pushing the word on truth and sincerity. Hey, listen, I just want to get off by saying we're living in some real exciting times. A lot of things that's happening. You got the whole Kanye West, Kyrie Irving thing. The underlying details of that is a lot greater than just, two, dumbed down niggas that are speaking, speaking a little bit of, truth and whatnot. There's a lot of greater things going on there, like, people being woken up. Just any little bit of slight shit on the fact that there's lies out there, and there's a truth out there, is good news, because it's going to cause people to start researching. So that in itself is a good thing, right? But the important thing is sticking firm, right? You got to stick firm to what you believe in. And so when you get into this truth, it's not about, how many followers you have or how much money you're making. This is so much. This is a life or death situation. I want to get into the the story with Abednego real quick, and we'll just read through it real quick. And I want to show the mindset that we should be in. So can you get that story of Abednego and Apocalypse? You can bring out what you're bringing.
I got a Bible dictionary here. And the
one that.
I got I believe a Bacchus, and I got the Bible dictionary. If you want. I'll probably bring it out.
But overall, man, it's exciting times, man. We got this stupid election coming up, and then during that election, they actually have a blue moon or a blood moon. So we know that there's signs and the stars and the moon and the sun and all that were set for times and signs and wonders and stuff. And we know that there's a lot of things that's going to happen in the heavens in these latter times. And, the Most High is with this political power. And that's another thing I want to say too. Esau will allow opposition, controlled opposition, when it seems fit. When there's an opposition that causes an uproar that Esau doesn't want, or the elites don't want, they will shut it down. We can have opposition between the right and the left. An opposition between political.
2 Maccabees 6 verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance.
Yep, an aged man of a well-favored countenance, right? Well, could you not say Kyrie Irving and Kanye West is of a well-favored countenance? Not necessarily, but they are well-known, right? They are well-known. A lot of people know these people. Now they've been smeared through the mud, right? Kanye West especially, he just looks like a fucking dumb nigga, right? Is what the media basically pinned him out to be. But go ahead.
Was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Right. Now, can you actually read up a little bit? Is there more to it?
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, like I said, we'll read through it real quick. There's like one point I want to kind of make on that.
Even at the top, I'll tell you how they basically want us to
From the top?
Yeah.
2 Maccabees 6 verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man to Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
Yeah, see that, depart from the laws of, so this is nothing new, right? There's nothing new with where, the powers that be don't want Israel, right, to wake up to who they are, right? They know that the longer they can stay in power, or the way they stay in power is by keeping these people without withholding the truth from them, without letting them know who they are. That's the most important thing. It's not teaching people who they are.
Yeah, that's Psalms 2nd chapter. And also Psalms 83.
Yep. They cut them off from being a nation, right? A people who said there are no people, lo and me, right? That's part of prophecy, right? But that's part of the elites and Esau to keep us down. So Esau and the other nations will do whatever they can to keep us down. Go ahead.
And not to live after the laws of their
power.
Well,
can we go a little further than just keeping us down? They're keeping us down, yes. They're oppressing us, yes, but why? You gotta ask yourself a very important question as to why are they doing that? Because they know that once we regain a relationship with our Heavenly Father, that we're gonna call upon Him for all the things that have been done, which means that will be recompensed back to Him.
Yeah, that paid back. Yeah.
That He gonna have to serve that, the receipts are gonna be served to Him for all the things that He's done. Yeah. So in this man's mind, he figures the way he can counteract that is through oppression. It's through continuing to, like the brother said, put us down so we don't come to those revelations as to who we are.
Yep.
That's what that's deeply rooted in. Is that animosity between Jacob and Esau, going all back to the blessing that was given to Jacob, right? The ultimate blessing of what? Rulership and righteousness. Right. That wasn't given to Esau.
Yep. So. Yeah, that's a great point. If I can add to that too, it's almost like the brother said about the check. It's almost like he's stalling, right? The longer he can have Israel stall and try to make the elect, or try to have it to where the elect doesn't wake up, right? Because that's prophecy, and Esau knows this book. All right, he knows who the people are. He knows that the prophecies say that once the elect are sealed, that's his ass, right? He knows that. So he knows the longer he stalls this out, and that pride that's lifted up in Esau, he really thinks he can stall it out. He really thinks he can continue to
power. Yeah.
He thinks he can keep feeding you with lies, and that you'll never have to pay that bill back.
Because we're the original.
Yeah.
So if you copying somebody, you have to marginalize the original, so you can stay popular and in power.
Exactly.
Like you steal somebody's joke, like you gotta make sure that you stay on top of them, so they'll never know that you stole their jokes or whatever. But the jokes on Esau though.
Yeah. So. Or you do the opposite. You do that, right? And you get everybody around to make it look like that guy's crazy when he starts calling you out for he stole my joke. What are you talking about? I didn't steal his joke. And if you have enough following and you have enough angles on it, you can make that guy look like the originator of the joke, who told it better than you, is now looking at you like, man, you lying.
Yeah, you got documents like recordings of you telling a joke, but the guy, you destroyed all his documents or most of them, and he only got 2 or 3, but you got like 15 or 20.
And the thing is, as when you try to bring that document out, well, hey, look, here's me years ago saying it. It doesn't matter. There's all this new, new speak that's out there. There's new information that says that you told it. Right. So you might get a couple of people that's like that see it, but other than that, no one's really going to see it. But the Most High set that up. All right, remember, the Most High is all set up and planned because there's only an elect and a remnant that's going to get this truth and get this word. So the reason why it's hidden for a reason, it's hidden for a reason. But yeah, that's beautiful points, right? That's what it comes down to, and we got to search this book out, right? The nation of Israel has to search this book out. When you start to layer these things out, you realize that we're living in these times, and there's nothing new under the sun. That this all happened before. All right, where they try to keep us down and try to make us tell our people to go off so that they can continue to keep us down.
Go on the other side.
Go ahead, read.
God. Continuing on, and not to live after the laws of the Heavenly Father.
Yep.
Verse 2, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, and that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. Verse 3, the coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people.
Damn. Yeah, the coming in was sore. Now it's sore and grievous to us, man. This is really grievous to us. But the majority of the people are so fooled. They're under that spell. They're blinded. They really have to be like kind of woken up. They got to get that fire lit underneath them. They got to get that breath of life breathed into them for them to really start to get upset with the fact that hey, listen, we are the chosen people, right?
The scripture saying that Judah is a lion's whelp.
Yep.
Who shall rouse him up?
Yep. Who shall rise? There you go. Yep.
So, that's how Judah is.
Yep. We're all dead bones now, man. And like the brother likes to bring this precept out all the time, but it said we're going to be called not a people, and we basically live in that, not being not a people. We've been told that for so long that it's just believable, right? The Esau held all the records where we're kings and rulers. We ruled a period for 1,000 years, but he hid all that. And another thing too I want to mention, let us not forget net neutrality, right? Let us not forget net neutrality. Let us also realize that how Esau is trying to change how you access information. And if anything offends people, they can take it down. So they're going to really start funneling what you say, how you say it, okay? And it's starting with these higher guys. But just know that Esau has a pretty much a kill switch where he can kill the internet, he can kill all the information being spread out. But there's certain things that's going against the grain. You can shut that down, take it off the internet, right? He can limit your access to the internet and access to the information. And none of y'all know how to go to the damn library. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's why you want to say something real quick?
They the Prince of the
A lot of you probably never even been in a library.
Power of the air.
Never even had library cards. Shit.
That's Satan, the Prince of the Power of the air.
Yeah.
And,
November 5th.
You know, especially with the pestilence outbreak in 2020, you seen how if you spoke anything about
Yep.
you know, the bug, they put under their links to the actual different organizations which they deem as credible, right? Where you can, of course, trust in their information.
Right.
Anything else as an opposition, say they were going and taking down the material too.
Remember, YouTube is owned by Google,
Yep.
so it didn't just stop there.
Yeah.
Any type of information that you wanted to look into, they openly admit that they suppress those results.
Yep. Absolutely. They did say that. They did say
Or they won't show up at all.
Yep. You trying to search it up in Google search and all that? Yep. Yeah, because a lot of you don't
But
know
that was a big one. I just wanted to add that on.
Yeah, a lot of you don't know is Google is a search engine. What that means is when you put in a word, it filters every web page out there. Now mind you, the amount of web pages that have that word are pretty much infinite. But Google will kind of like condense and the most popular, right, bring it to the top. But there's even inner linings where they'll make sure that you. That's why like you brothers know, right? You try to look up a GMS Brothers page, you put it in. Damn near word for word, bar for bar, and you still won't find it. You know how mad that pisses me off? You know how mad that makes me? Meanwhile, I can misspell like 5 words and some other bullshit will come up. But anyways, that's a whole other thing. But that's another good point. We know that all these corporations are owned, and then the sub companies underneath that are owned by the top company.
Yeah. Essentially, Esau is making himself a king of the whole world.
Yep.
And the king has absolute power.
Yep. Listen. Yep. It says it's like you finish your point, but it says he sits in the heavens, thinking he is God, right? But go ahead, brother.
So you can't say what you want to say to a king. It'll put you to death.
Yep. Shit, Esau's trying to be more than a king, man. Trying to be a god, man. Shit, he ain't even trying to be a god as in a powerful, like we're supposed to be gods, right? He's trying to be that one God. And how does he do that? By trying to hide. What was that? Job, right? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If he can cover all those faces and pretend to be that one, like you said, pretend to be the one to tell that joke, then it almost looks like he is that God, right? He is the number one true power. But listen, the Most High gonna turn that's the pride that's lifted up in you. But let's not ignore that pride that is lifted up in you from the Most High, which is beautiful. Because when you are taken down, man, it's gonna be a beautiful sight. But go ahead, read through that real quick, slide.
Verse 4: For the temple was filled with riot and revelings by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. Disrespectful. Verse 5: For the altar was filled with profane things.
Damn, see, look at that. Just ruining all the customs, ruining all our holy things, profaning it. Go ahead.
Which the law forbiddeth.
Yep.
Verse 6: Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Yep. Damn. Read that again.
Verse 6: Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Or profess him all to be a Jew. Yep. So if you were out there professing yourself to be of the descendants, right? Now remember, Jew is short for Judah, right? Which goes for Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Now we know that that's pretty much conglomerate of all the tribes, right? But you have Judah, and a lot of times it will say
in a wider sense, the scriptures say that we all come forth out of the
exactly.
waters.
Yep. There you go. Yep. And a lot of times when it compares, the people and bringing them together, it talks about Judah and Judah and Israel, or Judah and Ephraim.
Now I do want to say something.
Judah and Joseph. Yeah.
The reason why they wouldn't permit you to refer to yourself as a Jew is because remember, behind that word came a belief.
Yeah, there it is.
Came a custom.
There it is. Yep.
So if you were to be associated with being a Jew, then that means you're going against the current commandment at the time.
Yep.
You were an extremist.
Yep.
Right? You were an ideologue. You were all these things because you were in direct opposition to the way that they were trying to present at the time.
Yep.
Remember force people to be a part of.
Exactly. Yep. And they're trying to tell you this is the new way, this is the only way, and this is what you need to do. All right.
And I have something that I wanted to bring out. So BC, right, before Christ. All right. Another secular version of that is BCE, before Common Era. We were known as the Israelites. AD, okay, which AD is Anno Domini, year of our Lord.
Yeah.
We were being called what? The Jews.
Yep.
Right? The Jews, right? 1492, we were being referred to as what? Indians, which is another word for what? Savage. 1820, we were being called nigger, all right, or the N-word. By 1832, a Negro. 1950, colored. 1965, black. 1970, Afro-American. 1988, African-American. And now finally in 2021, Jake is starting to wake up to being Israelites. But now that has been stigmatized. Because now if you claim to be of that Shemitic line and link yourself directly to the biblical Hebrew Israelites, you are now being put to shame.
Right.
So they're trying to stigmatize the fact that we are the real, true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Okay? And remember, the awakening of the Israelites go back to the 1970s. Through Abba Bivens.
Yep.
So this is not something that has came overnight. It's just that the message is beginning to spread more.
Yep.
And the scriptures tell you that corruption shall be overcome. Right? In the Apocrypha. Right? That faith shall flourish. But you can see the evolution of how, because you said that we were not a people. That's the reason why I'm bringing it out, just to bring the point full circle. The evolution of how our people have basically went from one byword to the next byword to the next byword until the Lord finally put the breath of life back into us, and now the truth is permeating throughout the four corners of the globe of who the true biblical Hebrew Israelites actually are. So I'll just leave it there. This is a post.
Yeah, it's like if I can.
Yeah, go ahead. This is a post that was put out by the brother Bakora Moth, and then the elder Apostle Babar did a video on it. So just to share the link, the info.
And then real quick, another thing I do want to know is, like, remember, we do got it, and we had a whole basic, I don't want to say campaign, but we did have a campaign about basically, remember, you got to add the rest of the tribes in here. It's really like the ways, the angle in which they're coming in, they're really coming in that pro-black kind of thing, and they're really talking about the black community and all that. Remember, the tribes of Israel and this belief, and this truth is for all the tribes, man. All right, it's from Judah all the way down to Issachar, right? So realistically, they're not really saying it, but we're here to gather the elect of all the tribes, right? We're here to put that enmity between Judah and Israel, and put that away, because we do have a lot of division between the Spanish tribes with the so-called black tribes, right? So we do got to incorporate them in there, right? And we also got to understand that we're speckled birds, all right?
Yeah, they don't even mention that. They don't want to mention that.
Yep.
Scattering.
Yep.
Knowing how.
Yeah, we're like as a sand of a sea, Right. Like, we're like these leaves, man. We're like these leaves. You got brown leaves, you got and you can't even imagine trying to count all these leaves. You can't do it, man. And we're all different colors, but this is all Israel. But it's like I didn't want to make that point, man. But like listen, don't look at me because I have white skin, or so-called white skin.
Fairer skin.
Or you're lighter complexion.
Lighter complexion, or a longer nose or whatnot, Shit, like listen, you guys gotta understand to try the spirits, man. Go ahead.
Isaiah verse 6, Isaiah American, the Negro, and all the other names, bywords that they placed on us. The Lord is going to remove that covering cast and place the true identity of those people, which are the children of Israel, the children of Jacob.
And if I can add to that too, like, I know you had the encyclopedia, right? That collection, the 1930s encyclopedia. You got the 1930s encyclopedia.
Yeah, I believe so.
Do you have the word I, or do you have the word the letter I? Which you or no? So,
I have
anyways,
I have M. I probably do.
Hey brothers, let's shift a little bit down this way and close the gaps in between you, Bubba.
so if you go into the letter I in the 1930s encyclopedia and look up the word Indian, it goes into the Native American Indians, right? And it actually says that it was once believed that the Native American Indians were one of the descendants of the lost 12 tribes of Hebrew Israel, right? It says it was once believed. Now, why was it once believed that? Now, the reason why they say it was once believed because they were able to immediately shut that down and say it was lies, right? Say, oh, that's not real, that's not true.
Well, Esau talks like in a double talk, double tongue.
Yep. Well, he'll try to hide the truth by admitting that it's a possibility, but it's not real.
Yeah, that's how he talks. He don't give you a straight answer.
Yep.
That's a mark of a devil when they don't give you you ask a question and they leave it open-ended purposely so they can change it later.
Yep.
That's how you know a person's arguing with using a very weak technique when he argues with you, when he gives you an open-ended answer.
That's right. There you go.
All right.
Yep. But
that's Esau's a master at doing that, giving open-ended answers, circumlocution. I believe the elder brought that out, and convoluting statements. Like they say a whole bunch of shit, and you don't know where to exactly target. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? I asked you a simple fucking question. You didn't say yes or no, but you elaborated first, and then at the end you said yes or no. But then I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you just said in the beginning. I'm gonna read this definition on ham too. So.
Verse 7, and in the day of the king's birth, every month that were brought by bitter constraint, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices, and when the fast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus and carry ivy.
There you go, yep, it was all forced. Shalom!
Carry ivy, yeah.
Shoot. Yeah, brother, I didn't expect you to
I
be
got
here.
that too in here.
Yeah, shalom.
Verse 8, moreover, there went out a decree to the neighboring cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy and against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
Right, observe the same fashions. Now remember, we're no longer people. We no longer follow our customs, bro. Our customs, right? So we don't do what we're supposed to do, and that's been done by design for so many years, right? So many years they've been putting us down and trying to have us forget our customs. So now we're in that prophecy of lo and me, and we don't know who we are. So we have to be stirred up by the pure minds of way of remembrance. That's why we come out here preaching to the out to the people, and do this week in and week out, right? So we can stir up the elect, man. Go ahead.
And la ruhama.
No
mercy, because Yahweh Shah is allowing these lies to be perpetuated. So that's still killing us. Every time the Lord Yahweh Shah allows these lies to be perpetuated, meaning that they're the little hats claim to be the biblical Israelites. So as long as they do that, that's like killing us.
Yep.
And that's the Lord not having mercy on us.
There you go.
Well, 1/2 I mean, we know the truth, but the 2/3 they getting slaughtered. But they still have that part in their mind. Oh, they believe they're just Gentiles.
Yep.
All right. And we're still in this kingdom. We're still on a plantation. Now we go to different jobs. Here's that's just different plantation. That's a little better. And they got it so busy with trying to work. That's all Esau do. Esau get cash flow, right? But we work. We trying to find better jobs so we can work, so we can be drones and shit.
That's that rat race. That rat race. That's something Esau set up, that we have no choice but to just continue to work 9 to 5. Just never get ahead. You make just enough to pay your bills. You have to go back into work to try to work your ass off to pay bills that you didn't get the chance to pay.
Right, and then it says, in the place where it said, "You are not my people," there you should be called the sons of the living God.
There you go.
Even though the Lord didn't have mercy, and we're not his people, the Lord adopted us back. So now he is going to have mercy. That's why we have the knowledge, and we're the Lord's people. Yep. We've been adopted.
And the crazy and the thing to note is when you're called something for so long, not a people, for so long, that everyone believes it. Even the people that are a people start to believe that they're not a people. You know how hard it is to then say, "Listen, you are a people." It's difficult, man. The Lord made it that way, right? So
like a bitch wearing weave. She's been wearing weaves for the last 40 years.
She thinks
so it's hard for her to stop wearing the damn weave.
Exactly. Yep.
They think we're talking about the black woman, obviously. So they gotta be weaned off of it with knowledge. They gotta keep getting the knowledge thrown in their face, and then they can slowly wean themselves off of it, or go cold turkey. Shave all the hair off and start over.
Yep. Going up.
And remember, our people are of a stiff-necked, stubborn nature.
There it is. There it is.
So you got to continually tell our people things over and over and over again to break them down, right? Break them down, build them up. Break them down, build them up.
Yeah.
That's how we learn, through constant repetition.
Right. And the thing is, our people love.
And that's how you change your behavior too, by the way.
Yep.
You don't just do things once. You got to make it a trend. You got to trend it.
Yep.
You got to make these things habits.
Yep. Yeah. Our people are lovers of.
Because we strive and slack it, brother. No, you good. You good. I'm the one interrupting you. Slack it. That's what it's called, striving for perfection. Because under Yahushua, we got that covering, and as long as we got that mercy extended onto us, then we got that time to make that recovery. Because we are not perfect. Through Yahushua, we're perfect, but we ourselves are corruptible in this flesh. So we got to constantly be making amends, right? Repent, keep ourselves clean. It's a process.
Yep.
It's a process. Because there's a lot of angles of the world, a lot of spirits, a lot of things that are attacking us on a daily basis. But yeah, I just wanted to say, we learn through repetition.
Right.
We learn through repetition.
Go ahead. It's like I know a lot of you brothers probably have precepts, but I do want to get to the point. So
Just
keep
do that.
reading.
And I'm going to bring this out after that.
Go ahead.
Verse 9, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
Wow. There you go. Wow. There you go. Now, it doesn't seem, it's not that harsh now, but it might as well be, right?
Well, it's going to be like that when it gets to the implant.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? So that's the thing. It's about to get to the point where they implement that RFID CHIP.
Well, can I say something on that? Technically, when you take a man's money, you're putting him to death.
Yep.
When you take a man's money, you're putting him to death.
That's his
money,
defense.
money is a
That's
defense.
his defense. Yep.
Says press the right before or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was about. That's what.
So even though it's not immediate, it's like death by 1,000 cuts.
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna shame you. Then we're gonna take your money. We're gonna ostracize you. All right.
So like voting
team.
Red Fox.
Voting team.
After Red Fox.
Right.
They did that to Red Fox. They took the ring off his finger.
Yep. Con. Yeah.
And then he just died from and knowing that's the curse. That's the curse, and that goes right back to Deuteronomy, chapter 28.
That's it.
You got to read that already? Or?
No. We're just.
But read that again, brother.
Con.
Yeah. And like the brother said over here off to the side, that will be fully instituted during the time of the mandation of the implant. So go ahead, read that again.
2 Maccabees 6 verse 9. Whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
Right, because that manner of the Gentiles, in the larger scheme, is like the brother said, the RFID CHIP. That's going to be that manners of the Gentiles. So they're going to have that fully implemented, and we know that that's one of the prophecies that we're not supposed to follow. That's one of the ways of the heathen we're not supposed to follow. Go ahead. And if we don't, if we speak up against it or whatnot, they're gonna, and we don't take it, we're not gonna be able to buy ourselves. All right, we're not gonna be able to be a functioning individual in society. Okay, all right, we're only gonna have this faith in the Spirit. And if the Spirit's dealing with you, working with you, that's the only thing that's gonna allow you to endure. If you don't have that, and you don't have that, and you don't take the CHIP, it's your ass anyway, right? You have to have the Most High, Yakalba Page, in His Spirit with you during that time. Go ahead.
Then might a man have seen the present misery.
Yep.
Verse 10. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
So this is what happened when Israel tried to follow the commandments, right? They tried to circumcise the children. They were hanged and killed, just like that. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered by Philip, were all burnt together because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
There you go. And the thing is it starts with somebody saying, hey, we're the chosen people. I can't be anti-Semitic once I know who or shouldn't say that word. I shouldn't be anti you know what,
little hat,
anti little hat if I know that I'm of that people, right? So when you say things like that, it provokes a little bit of thought in our people's mind to where they start researching, and they don't want that. So just like in the time where they didn't want us following our commandments and they killed us for it, that's what they're doing now. The thing is, we're so killed right now, we're so downtrodden that they don't need to openly just kill us for speaking the truth. They just need to make sure that it doesn't get to that point. So they'll they'll push any political power. Like they'll allow us to teach a little bit because we don't have, you know, a crazy amount of followers, right? You know, they don't want this reaching out to a massive amount of people. We're already getting shut down any damn way. We've been getting shut down, you know.
Right, well, we are definitely blacklisted.
Yep.
We're definitely blacklisted under certain states. What is it? Each state got their own anti-extremist.
Yep.
Anti-hate groups. Excuse me. Got the
Southern Poverty Law.
Yeah, but each state got their different individual groups by their names, and some GMS brothers are on there.
Oh shit, yeah.
By their groups.
By the title.
GMS.
Yep.
Whatever state.
Yep.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
New York.
So if you go to each state's website, right, I slack brother. They
list them by.
They list the different what they deem hate groups.
There you go. There you have it. So brother.
Absolutely.
Verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities.
There you go. Don't be discouraged. And like I said, here's my thing for Kyrie Irving and Kanye West. I'm playing, you know, I'm playing the side of the field a little bit towards them. I have my different opinion about it.
You can't be mad.
Yeah.
You can't be mad. Their job ain't the profit.
Exactly.
Their job ain't the profit.
Yep. And I get that, but here's my thing, right? This is what you got to understand when you come into this truth. That if even losing a little bit of money or all your money, a lot of money, that's do not fear that, man. You shouldn't even fear losing your life, because that's what's going to happen when you really get into this truth, man. Your life is going to be on the line, and you got to make sure that you don't waver to that. You can't waver to the thought of wavering this truth to the thought that you might be killed. All right, and that's remember, Scripture says, "Fear not who can kill the body, but rather fear him who can kill both body and soul in hell, which is the Most High." So, you know, realistically, these guys, when they're told to apologize and, you know, they're gonna get suspended, they should just say, "Who cares? My integrity is worth more." And that's what I'm about to get into that we're gonna read. Right. But they're not doing that. Even though they ain't speaking the full truth, they should stand by what they believe in, like men of old did. Right. All right.
You get that precept, if thou come to serve the Lord.
There you go. If thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
I want to actually get it, not
Yep, get that.
Yes, chapter 2. In fucking 1. And it says, and my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
There you go. Prepare thy soul for temptation. So you see what's happening to you know Kyrie and Kanye and you know all these guys that stand against the the opposition.
That could be as far as coming into wealth, to be persuaded, right, to no longer teach, right down to having things being taken away from you, and see if it'll
persuade.
Hinder you. All right.
There you have it. Yep.
You said Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, no.
Using as an example?
Yeah, I was just saying Kyrie and Kanye, like, you know, when you see what happens to them, it's almost like a lot of people putting out like this, you know, they're back breaking these guys, right? So when you see that, or buck breaking, right? You see that that's happening to them, so it makes a lot of these other guys that are in a position of power to not speak against it, right? Yeah. To not speak against the opposition. Listen, if you told me to do this, I'm gonna do this. Yes, master, right? That's what they're trying to make sure our people do, right? So once you start being abrasive against, you know, the people in charge and the people in power, they're gonna make you an example, and you got to be okay with that. You got to prepare yourself for that, right? All right, you might lose a lot of things, or you are gonna lose a lot of things when you come into this truth.
Right. First they were just looking for an apology, right? This is how you know they're dragging our people through the mud. First they just wanted an apology, then they get the apology, and now the apology ain't good enough. Now they got to meet with the ish leaders and sit down and have a discussion, kind of like what they did with Nick Cannon. So it's like enough is enough, right?
Yep.
Nigga already paid $500,000. That wasn't enough. Now we need an apology. That's not enough. Now you got to sit down with who we tell you to sit down and have a public discussion.
Yep. Now you got to get suspended for 4 games. Yep.
That you got to be suspended. Well, that's a vacation for him.
Well, no, he's suspended without pay. And someone else made a good point. These cops do way worse, and they get suspended with pay. Some of them don't even get suspended. They're just able to just do whatever the hell they damn want. Yeah, and you know why? Because that's all set up by the elites. It's all okay by the elites. So if you go against the elites, they're gonna shut you down. They're gonna blackball you, and they're gonna let you do what you want. All this opposition is controlled opposition by the elite. Any opposition that's outside that controlled zone, they're going to shut it down. Go ahead, real quick.
This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
There you go. Yep. Yeah,
We
like you said, let's talk a second. Let us not forget that we all know that the reason why all this is happening is because this is our captivity. The brother already mentioned it, Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all the curses. You know, this is all part of it, man. We're in our captivity, so it's not a strange thing that these things are happening, right? Go ahead.
That's right. Where thou hast scattered us.
Yep.
With who the thou? Yahweh Yahushua scattered us.
Yep.
For a reproach and a curse.
Yep.
And to subject to payment.
There you go. We're subject to payment. Yep. Now, like the brother said earlier, you know, that payment is going to be transitioned to the people that, you know, put us down, right? So, you know, we have to fulfill this payment by the Most High, right? That was given to us, right? And we're going to fulfill that payment. But that's why we can't be up here trying to establish it, like, because I want to kind of get into, like, not right now, but I do want to get into how, like, you know, they want to say, well, you know, imagine if just Kyrie decided to have his, you know, just start his own NBA, and we got all the guys band together, and they all just say, you know what, F it, let's F the NBA and let's start our own thing. They won't do that. Jake had the power to do that, but they won't do that. And even if they did, guess what? It'd get thrown down. You know why? Because it's not of the Most High. It's not of Yahweh Shema Shai.
Well, if they did that, they'd have to join the camp.
Yep.
They'd have to join the camp. All right? Because they don't got it. They don't got it.
Yep.
You know, they got fragments.
Oh, black. You're talking about black.
They got bits and pieces.
Black,
you know, there's a lot more to it.
Yep.
You know, and we ain't anti-Shem. We anti-Edomite.
Yep.
They got to get the terminology right. You want to be mad at us for something, be mad at us for something that's genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
We're anti-Edomite, okay? And the earth against you.
That's a bad Hebrew. They Khazar Yiddish Hebrew. They Shem or whatever. I want to. You finished? I want to read this.
I know you. I still got you there. I just want to let this brother read this out. I know a lot of brothers got precepts, like I said. There's a point.
There's a lot here.
I know. Let me just keep reading
Can I just read real quick?
There's so much. I know there's so much being said in here. I'm trying to break it down because it's a lot, but it's conglomerate of everything that's going on right now and today. And there's a point I want to make, but go ahead.
Like Elder Apostle Tahar always says, it's lesson within lessons.
Yeah.
Lessons with lessons.
Lessons within lessons. So it's like an onion. Elder Apostle Aram, you got to peel back those layers. You know. But just real quick, because you mentioned about recompense, right? Right now we paying the bill, but eventually this man gonna have to pay it for all the things that he's been a part of and contributed to our downfall, destruction, and current captivity. So this is Jeremiah 49:12. It says, "For thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, behold, those whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken."
There you go.
The bywords, the slander, right? The continual captivity, not having a voice, being put to shame, not being able to have an opinion.
Profiting off of us.
Right, profiting off of us.
They can put commercials on our videos if they want. They changed the policy a couple months ago or beginning of the year. So they can put ads and make money. And the channel is not monetized.
Right.
The channel's not monetized. Esau has the right to put ads on the front of it. So.
Right. It says,
stealing.
Behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it.
There you go. There you go. That recompense is going to get put back on your own head, man. That's going to be beautiful. But we ain't going to do it, of our own accord. All right, we're waiting. We're patiently waiting.
We're reading to you the judgment.
Yep.
We're reading it to you.
Fishers first, then hunters, right? Go ahead.
Continuing on.
Yep.
But they judge those punishments not to be for their destruction, but for a chastening of our nation.
Yep.
Verse 13. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished.
There you go. Read that again. That goes with the brother just said there too. Go ahead.
For it is a token of his great goodness
Yep.
when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished.
but we're punished, right? So these wicked doers, all right, and all these people that forced us to, you know, go away from our customs and all that, and our laws, our commandments, there's going to be that recompense bestowed on you is going to be a beautiful thing, right?
Verse 14. So not as with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbear to punish, so they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth with me with us.
Yep, right? The fullness of his sins, like he does with us. Once we fulfill the fulfillment of our sins, man, he punishes us. Like what happened with Deuteronomy 28 chapter. We fulfilled, you know, we hit everything the Lord told us not to do. All right? And then the Lord punished us. And everything that happened in that book, all the curses befell us, right? Go ahead.
Verse 15. Lest that being come to the height of sin, afterwards he should take vengeance of us. Yep. And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us, and though he punished with adversity, yet does he never forsake his people.
Yep. Punished with adversity. We're being punished with adversity right now, but he's not going to forsake us. Go ahead.
Verse 17. But let this that we have spoken be for a warning unto us.
Yep.
Now will we come to the declaring of the matter in a few words. Verse 18.
When does it start getting?
Right here.
Okay, good.
Verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes.
Now here's an example, right? Everything we read earlier, right? It is a prelude to Eleazar and a man that kept his integrity, man. In a time when two women went and circumcised their children, which is a custom, right? They were put to death, right? Babies were killed. When they were, hiding out in the rocks real quick to follow the Sabbath, they were sought out and killed, right? During all this time, this man came about. What?
Verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Yep.
But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
There you go. Came of his own. He said, "Listen, I will of my own accord came to the torment." He said, "I'm not eating swine's flesh." And pig meat, I mean, a lot of y'all eat it regularly. So I would say it seems like it's not a big deal. Like it's just flesh, right? It's just meat. But it's against our customs, and that's how we got to be about our customs. I mean, there's certain things we can't follow. We do the best of our ability, but we act with integrity, right? Our customs are our customs. We take it very serious. That's what makes us the people, man. Is the customs that the Lord had given unto us, right? So it was told that he has to, eat this swine's flesh, and he didn't do it. He spit it out. But go ahead. There's more to this story. Go ahead.
Verse 20. As it behooved them to come, that they are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted.
Yep.
Verse 21. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh.
Right. So basically, the people that were up, they knew Eleazar like that, and they said, well, listen, let's take Eleazar in the back, let's talk to him, let's reason with him. Right? Are they not trying to reason? Weren't they trying to reason with these guys? Let's take them back. There was that text that went out that was kind of like, he said that text about basically, hey, listen, there's two things that can happen. Yeah. We can sedate the shit out of you, and you can go back to, doing, talking like you should and convincing the people, right?
Back to zombie land.
Yeah, that's that, man. Let's talk. Hey, let's talk with you a little bit. Let's talk. Go ahead, read.
Taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and to make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice.
So here's what they say. Listen. We know you don't eat it. We need to trick the people. So here's what we'll do. We'll give you flesh you can eat. We'll give you, lamb or whatever it was, and we'll let you eat the lamb. It's not swine's flesh. It's not pork, right? But we're gonna tell the people that it is pig. We're gonna tell the people that it is swine, and you're gonna let the people know that listen, you're all for this. But in your mind that it's not swine's flesh, so you should be good, right? Go ahead.
And make it as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
Exactly, right? Go ahead.
Verse 22. Then in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
So there you go. So in that moment, he can choose life in that society because they're giving him an out, right? They're giving him a way out. Listen, all you gotta do is eat the flesh. That's what lawful, but we're gonna tell them that it's of this sacrifice. against against your commandments, right? But Eleazar was like, I ain't having that. No, I ain't gonna do that. Go ahead.
Verse 23. But he began to consider discreetly, and as it became his age and the excellency of his ancient years.
Right. So he pondered, he considered it, he thought about it. He said, okay, well, let me think about this. Right. Go ahead.
And the honor of his great head, whereon was come in his most honest education from a child,
Yep.
or rather the holy law made and given by the Heavenly Father. Therefore he answered accordingly,
Yep.
and willed them straight.
He thought all the, he thought, listen, I'm of old age, from my youth all the way up. I've been a man of the commandments, been a God-fearing man, so to speak, right? Been following the statutes and commandments. I've been doing the right thing. Why would I just, and now all of a sudden, just to live a little while longer, we're just gonna say, or be basically trick the people, right, into believing that I went away from the Most High. Why would I do that? Go ahead.
Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave.
Yeah, he said, listen, just kill me. Just kill me. And that's the attitude we have here. It's not the attitude that these guys have. And that's one of the points, we can keep going. It's one of the points I want to make. They're quick to kind of like apologize and all that. Like, listen, you got to be ready to lose it all. You got to be ready to lose it all when you come to this thing. Because that's just the way it is, man. All the prophets of old, man, they were beheaded. They were stoned. Why? Because they were going against the grain. They were going against the leaders of that, right? Go ahead.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
That's one of the characteristics of the elect. We're going to stand so stiffly
Exactly.
what we believe in, no matter what you put us through.
And there's a reward for that. We know there's a reward for being put to death, in our, how would you say, like, in our integrity, right? If we stay true to Yahweh Shema Shai, there's a reward for that, even on the death. Go ahead.
Verse 24, for it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10,
Yep, basically 90 years old this man was.
or were now going to a strange religion.
Yeah, so 90 years. He went 90 years, and all of a sudden he went to a strange religion. Go ahead.
And so they through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer,
Yep.
should be deceived by me.
Look at that. Should be deceived by me. They knew who to go after. Let's go after this man. And if we can just get him to trick the people, we can get so many more people to follow us, man. We can get so more people to buy in on this BS.
Right, that's why in these latter days you shouldn't be surprised if they try to approach you.
Yep.
Try to persuade you to be a public figure, to persuade your people out from following the faith, following the truth. Because you got to remember, we're not actually openly inciting a rebellion. But the reality is the words that we speak are life. They're anti-Messiah. They're anti-life. So that's where the problem comes in. Because we're just teaching our people the truth. But in today's day and age, that has become a crime. Telling the truth has become a crime.
Kanye said the same thing. He said they'll get one to talk about kill him, shoot him.
Right.
And then everybody, it triggers everybody to do that.
Right. Yeah, because they're afraid of that awakening. Again, going back to a statement that I made earlier, they're afraid of the awakening of the Israelites. Okay, because they understand that means that salvation, all right, is very near. And if salvation is very near, their destruction is very near.
That's right.
And they're trying to prohibit that as much as possible. Defer it as much as possible. Stop it by taking any means necessary. So,
Right.
The truth is a constant confliction with the beliefs and ideologies that America pushes, okay, here and abroad.
Right.
That's where the actual problem comes in.
Yep. Tell me a couple more verses, right? All right, then you can come with the hands. Go ahead.
And I get a stain on mine old age and make it abominable.
Yep.
For through the present time I should be delivered from
Right,
the
and nowadays no one keeps integrity. No one thinks about how they stain their name. They just think about the here and now. How much money they're gonna end up losing. How much, the house that they lose, right? Everybody turning on them. Their wife turning on them. Their kids turning on them, right? Go ahead.
Start over again.
Look how quickly D Wade conformed to everything. With his with his son and all. He conformed to all that. So, praising that abomination, right?
Well, think about it. They got the thing, Mambula.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Mambula. They're already pushing it in the system. man boy level association,
Right.
and all these other acronyms. So they're making sure you break them all.
Yep, right. Right, go ahead.
Verse 26.
Yeah, that's why they're teaching your children now openly. They're teaching your children to accept these different perversions.
Oh, and I do want to admit, or I do want to say, so see, you know how it said, listen, we're going to give you flesh that's of your own, but just show them. You know that a lot of these rappers that sing about this drugs, sex, alcohol, and all this wickedness, they ain't doing that. They ain't even showing their kids that. They're just feeding it to you. They say, listen, as long as you do this, you'll be good. You know, you'll get your money. You can do what you want with it, but you need to release this and do this. All right? They know that. So they'll prevent their offspring from hearing it, or they won't actually do those things. They won't actually be killers and thugs and all that. They're just trying to make the money, but they just know, hey, listen, as long as I push it on these people, I get a benefit from it. And that's what it's all about. It's about getting that benefit. That's how Esau has been using us to keep us down. Go ahead.
Verse 26. So
That's lucky, brother. That's why I'm gonna say this. That's why you better not get involved. Because how you supposed to keep your children from that, and yet here it is. They see you doing that.
Yep.
They're gonna be naturally looking up to you. They're your children.
Yep.
They're gonna want to do what daddy does. They're gonna want to do what mommy does. That's why you gotta have morals. You gotta have scruples. You know, but the majority of our people don't. You know, they playing their lot. They're fulfilling their role.
That's right. What?
Verse 26. But though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty.
There you go. Read that again. That's so important to know. Go ahead. Read that again.
Verse 26. But though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men.
I should be delivered from the punishment of men. Go ahead.
Yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty.
But he's not going to escape the hand of the Almighty. And that's the one that's the one that we have to make sure that we are staying true to.
He's the one that we got to please.
Exactly. So the judgment, remember, the judgment always comes forth from the Most High. All judgment comes forth, and the fiercest judgment is going to come from the Most High. Go ahead.
Neither alive nor dead. Verse 27. Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will shew myself such as one as mine age requireth.
There you go. He's going to show what his age requires. He's 90 years old. He's going to show his age being, being that of a godly man, a God-fearing man. Go ahead.
Verse 28. And leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honor.
There you go. There you go. So he lived his whole life. He can even live it a little longer. He's given enough courage to the young men to say, hey, listen, you know what? If an old man in his age can do it, surely I can do it, right? And that's what Esau doesn't want us to do, man. He does not want us to. That's why he's doing all that damage control is happening to Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, Colin Kaepernick, right? All these guys, right? And like I said, I had my, I said what I said last week about, fuck them guys, like, all the BS, and it's all set up. I get that, but there's a reason why you had a question of why is there all this damage control? Now here, I'm here in the spirit saying, listen, we got to be like this man Eliezer. When you come into this thing, you got to be willing to put your life on the line. And that's what it's going to come down to.
Get that precept.
Yep. What's that?
Get that precept.
Yep. Especially at the end when that CHIP gets implemented.
He that findeth this life
shall lose it. Yep.
Get the precepts.
Go ahead, finish that off, and then I want to brother. I know, like I said, I said a lot, but you see how all that is, that's all happening today. It's been happening back then, all right? It's all by design, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when you layer it like that. When you layer it and you see it for what it really is, it's beautiful because we know that this is Esau's poorest attempt and saddest attempt to basically keep us down. And it's like so obvious that it makes it so how much we are in the last days. Like we can really see we're in the last days just by this poor attempt to try to keep us down. It says that because he knows that he has but a short time, right? Okay. Go ahead, read that.
28. This is the last verse. And leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly, courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment.
Damn. Immediately. You let him speak all that, and he said, all right. You gotta read that again? Immediately what?
Went to the torment.
Immediately went to the torment. They killed him, man. Oh, but there's more to that, right?
There's a lot.
A lot more. All right. Anyways, we won't gotta read it. Basically, you read it for yourself.
So he essentially became a martyr.
Exactly. And
He became a martyr.
Yeah, when you read down to the end, it basically says that they actually put him up as a memorial, and he was a memorial onto that moment. And we're still bringing this man out to this very day. Yeah, I think it's at the very end.
Verse 31. And thus this man died, leaving in his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation.
There you go. So that's what we're trying to be, man. We don't listen. If we come into we ain't trying to be persuaded by any amount of money. If we have a little bit of something, if we have a little bit of substance. A lot of us came from nothing and got a little bit of substance. We ain't afraid to lose it. All right. That's why it says,
let's get these precepts for the brother. Everything he's saying is a precept for it.
Yeah, God. And we're gonna come through. I'm gonna hit all these precepts up too. So, so the thing is like, you know, that's how we're supposed to be.
Coming in first.
Your Kyries and your Kanye's, like, yeah, they're gonna say something, they're gonna provoke some thought, but at the end of the day, you know, they ain't gonna.
What's gonna lead them to us?
Yep.
It's gonna lead them to us.
Yep.
Because now that questions are out there. Yep. Who the real biblical Hebrew Israelites?
Right.
You know? Yep. Like the meme I sent out, the meme, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
One breath, the Ish people are denying that they control and regulate everything, while literally controlling and regulating everything. Kanye West being the example.
And it's crazy, like I said, it's crazy because like when you see, we all
Kyrie Irving suspending his Nike deals. Okay, so you either do or you don't. But you're saying you don't, but yet you're doing the very same things that you're being accused of that you're trying to deny. Tactics of the devil. Tactics of the devil, Akim. Tactics of the devil.
There you go.
And you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yep.
You can't go and apologize. Oh, we can get yours back. Just like Nick Cannon's a prime example.
Right.
He went out and he apologized, and they gave him back his show.
Right.
If I gotta preach something. Just to get the real.
All right, read that, and then we starting here.
It says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death.
There it is.
And the Lord shall fight for thee.
There it is. Strive for the truth unto death. And that when you strive for the truth unto death, remember you gotta keep that in your memory banks at all times. That this is onto death. All right. Every attempt that you make to push His word is onto death.
Right. What's more important to you? What's more valuable to you?
Nothing this damn kingdom.
Living a lie. Hold on. Living a lie. Yep. Right. Living a lie. That's why Eleazar didn't want to conform. Yep. He knew it was a lie. And he would have been part of perpetuating a lie.
Yep.
He would have been responsible for perpetuating that lie. So what's more honorable? So it all comes down to how much you value this truth. You know? And we know that there are certain men here that won't die, that shall not taste of death.
That's it.
But death should not hinder you from keeping your integrity.
Right.
That's the point.
Yeah. Especially knowing that the Most High has given us that
Most
mercy.
High got the power.
Well, yeah, but the Most High has given us mercy, right? So when you realize that you were given that mercy, and we did all that manners of wickedness, you know, in our ignorance, and we have given that mercy, we listen. Now being returned, seek Him, 10 times more. We gotta, now that we had that, we were given that mercy. We understand the law, statutes, and commandments. We gotta
learn to stand for something.
Yep.
Right? Learn to stand for something.
There you go. Go ahead, Doc.
We're about to switch out.
And if anything, for the truth, right?
Ham, Anonymous Compact Bible Dictionary. Here, since we're talking, it's last week too. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor or the father of the dark races. Ham says not the Negroes.
Yep.
The Negroes is starting with so-called black men in America, and then down to Benjamin, Levi, and all the rest of the tribes. All right, not the Negroes. So the Negroes are not of the father Ham.
Yep.
All right, we come from the father Shem.
And if I can say, Esau really built up, Esau and the nations really built up a whole mass of lies on just that alone. It's important to bring that out because once you realize that itself is a lie, because remember, where does our history start? Our history starts in Africa, and we were taken through the slave ships, and then we were just Africans. That's all we are, right? African Americans now, because we dwell in America, right? So that one lie, he was able to wipe out all the history before how we even got to Africa.